Well, time to talk about some of the very real issues that we deal with in our country every single day. Approximately 150,000 people are injured and 18,000 people die as a result of road crashes in South Africa annually. Now, as we head into the festive season, it's good to be reminded to be careful on the road, as it's not just your life that you need to look out for, but also the lives of so many others and the countless loved ones that they have. Now, globally, the third Sunday of every November is commemorated as World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims. The founder and director of South Africans Against Drunk Driving, Caro Smit, is joining us this morning with her daughter Philli Smit, who is the organization's strategic analyst. Ladies, good morning. Caro, Philli, so good to have you on the show this morning. Thank you for being here to, of course, spread a very, very important message. Let's contextualize for a minute. You founded SAD after a very tragic event in your life. Would you be so kind to share what that was with us?
Certainly. My son Chaz was a musician in Plush, and they had won the Battle of the Bands in 2002.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, he was killed by a woman who was irresponsible enough to drink and drive. And, you know, for a mother, the death of a child, my precious child, was just absolutely devastating. And I mean, looking at Pascal and Pierce, and it really hits me hard because I was part of the music scene. Chaz in Plush at one stage were Goldfish and Good Luck and all of them. So after that, I decided I am a psychiatric social worker and an alcohol and drug expert, that I could either sit back and cry or I could actually fight, and I'm a fighter. And I'm fighting. I started South Africans Against Drunk Driving to actually fight for this cause.
Yeah, well, we're so sorry for your loss and so grateful for your bravery as well, and that you decided to do something from something that was so tragic. I don't know how I would deal with that, but Philli, you being the sister of your brother that passed away, how did that affect your daily life?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a difficult adjustment. First of all, I was 19. It was my first year out of school. At varsity, I was lucky enough to watch his gigs almost weekly, and then suddenly he was gone. And I went from being a 19-year-old whose life is just starting and out of home to suddenly being worried about everything. Who's next? Who's going to die? What about my other brother? What about my friends? I happened to, in that year, lose another friend in December. So my brother died in September. I lost a friend also to drink driving in December, and another one the following year. And so, you know, the impact is huge. It really changes your life. You go from being a 19-year-old to an adult and scared.
In a split second.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
I think we always think that it happens to people out there. It'll never happen to you, and when it does, it just completely rocks your world. I love that you're wearing a T-shirt in memory of Chaz, and you, of course, have gone a long way to making sure that you are keeping that memory alive.
Certainly.
Yeah, so how are you going about doing that?
Okay, so certainly I work, obviously SAD, we work together with World Health Organization, United Nations have acknowledged our work, and we have a global group of NGOs, a global alliance, and we all work together. And in fact, part of us from the Global Alliance have also started a group called the International Road Victims Partnership, that we're fighting for victims, because victims have no rights in South Africa. And you know, as we were saying, 18,000 people die on our roads every year. So that's 50 die a day.
Wow.
50 die a day.
That is scary.
And 400 are injured every day. And yet people in South Africa are still very proud about drinking and driving. So SAD have been formed to save people in South Africa, to save my other family, to feel, you know, to show people like Simba. Simba was a real man. Chaz was a real person. These are loved ones, and we're trying to prevent that. We're trying to, Zenani Mandela, look at her. You know, her family were thrown into chaos and absolute turmoil. And we're saying enough is enough. We need to be absolutely outraged and to work together and not accept these very preventable crimes.
Absolutely. Philli, do you want to tell us about the event that you're hosting on Monday?
So, I mean, you gave us an introduction earlier, but on the third Sunday in November, we've got the World Day of Remembrance. We are chosen to host it on Monday at Milnerton High School. And basically this day is just saying we are celebrating and remembering the loved ones that we've lost in road traffic, the injuries. So it's injuries or death, and it's not just drink driving. So a lot of people, it's just any of that. And what we're saying is we're also celebrating those who have helped. So the ambulances, the police, the fire department, everyone's helped save lives and make a difference. And we're hosting this event with the Minister Donald Grant. He's coming to address us.
Wonderful.
And Professor Sebastian van As from the Red Cross Children's Hospital, just to talk about it. And also any victims can come and just know that they will be heard.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cara. Thank you so much, Philli, for sharing those very important messages. These are senseless, deaths that don't need to happen. So we need to make sure that we continue to spread the word, of course. It's happening on Sunday, the 19th of November, World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims. And for more information, you can go to worlddayofremembrance.org.